This has become a common sight on our streets and in our neighborhoods. Every day, we navigate through streets where plastic bottles, food wrappers, and discarded refuse compete for space with us. And yet, we are not disturbed. We buy, we sell, we even eat, and live our daily lives in this environment. Perhaps we believe it is not our responsibility to collect refuse, but the research shows that each resident of Abuja produces about 60 to 65 kilograms of waste per day, higher than the national average. Yet, less than 20% of this waste is formally collected or recycled. Fail to realize is the impact and the cost of these actions on our health, our well-being, and the socio-economic lives of people in our communities.
These are harmful to the health. These are poisonous to the earth. One way or the other, they damage us.
The environment gives back to us what we give to it. The environment needs to be kept and to be kept clean. Not only because you think that it's dirty, it's a health hazard to us. The implications of having open the dumping of waste, the health hazards are innumerable.
If you look around the environment, it looks as if we are in a no man's land where anything goes. The environment is unkept. People don't know where to dump, the appropriate place to dump the refuse.
Because of the ignorance, they don't know the dangers of disposing waste anyhow. Because some of those things that they are the ones that cause diseases or sickness around the environment.
That is why, on this week's episode of Indepth, we will explore Nigeria's waste management systems to understand the impact of indiscriminate dumping of refuse, the lack of environmental protection culture by Nigerians, and what we must do collectively to manage wastes, create wealth, and live healthier lives. There has been several efforts by the government of Nigeria through the Federal Ministry of Environment, its agencies and private investors to ensure waste management and utilization through policies and innovation. But more needs to be done because at the heart of this crisis is attitude.
Government is trying, putting their efforts to make sure that they keep the environment clean on a daily basis, but we need to change our habits, definitely. We need to be very focused on the fact that I'm very deliberate and intentional about how we dispose of our waste. We lack that proper habit of ensuring that we properly discard our waste in a safe way. We just tend to do it haphazardly, and we are now feeling the effects of it. There's flooding everywhere, the roads everywhere are filled with filth and all that.
Many times you see people along the road, they are drinking water or they are eating something, and I'm just looking and I'm saying, where is that thing going to end up? Most people are not mindful, and that's the thing. The entire cycle of waste management begins with one concept. It's called consciousness. You have to be conscious. You have to be aware. So when you use something, what do you do with it? You just throw it on the side of the road. For me, when I see people do that, I feel like it's an assault on the land.
If you see anybody who throws any waste bin carelessly on the highway, of course it goes a long way to tell you how that person takes his personal hygiene seriously. So it speaks volume about the person's personal lifestyle.
We don't need to assume that everybody knows that it's bad or it's good or it's wrong. Well, I think there are not enough educative or informative channel towards, educating people properly.
Many residents dispose waste indiscriminately. At homes, wastes are not sorted and often not properly containerized. That is why you see degradable and non-degradable waste mixed together in dumps. Globally, the ideal standard is waste separation at source.
You see a lot of people, unfortunately, they just mix their waste together. We see people mixing their plastic and their cans and their paper with their orange peels, their moi leaves, their different things in the same trash bin. It shouldn't be the same. The one that I'm very passionate about that, and I would love the government to help us intervening, is around the curriculum, around education and sensitizing of the citizenry, where everybody needs to start to sort their waste in their homes.
Very few households have what you call an appropriate waste bin. Not every container, plastic or otherwise, is a waste container. We just tend to put a basket, cylindrical chemical drums, and use that as those are inappropriate. They are not what we call a waste bin. So at the very fundamentals of it, we need to first let our people know that everybody should have at least one proper waste container, waste bin actually. So from there, we can now begin to separate.
Yes, I think there should be a mode of enlightening people on how to make use of these things. Create awareness. It's going to really help a lot if people are being aware, if people are being enlightened and aware of these waste partitions.
For me, the advocacy, the sensitization is the beginning point. Because what has happened is that over the years, we have lost that consciousness. We are no longer, maybe this sense of survival, everybody is hustling, everybody just is looking for their daily bread. So we have something in us has been lost to our relationship with our environment around us. So I think for every family, you must have a proper waste bin. Understand the waste you generate. And I think that as many people recycle, and this is why what NTA is doing is very important, because that advocacy needs to happen, that sensitization, and the media is key in that.
There's got to be a lot of advocacy and sensitization to the public, understanding the implications of our poor environment and the choices we make. We need to be intentional about the environment. We're talking about global warming and all these things and all that. We need to put them into practice as well.
Because we do not separate our waste, we see plastic bags and PET bottles tossed into gutters, refuse dumped on roadsides, and open burning in neighborhoods. Some say government trucks don't come regularly, so people just throw waste anywhere.
You can see they just trashed some of these things last week, but by now it's already filled up. So I think twice in a week would do, instead of once in a week.
It should be 2 to 3 times a week. It should not be weekly, because if you say weekly and it is Friday or Saturday, just imagine a waste from Monday to Wednesday. Something that you've littered from Monday to Wednesday is going to, to have decomposed before Thursday or Friday.
In this area, I think I used to see the supervisors once a week. When they come once a week, you can't even see them again onto another week. Instead of coming once in a week, let them be coming 3 times in a week, so that they will be going around. That's what they can actually keep Abuja clean as the way we normally used to see it.
I can tell you for free, they have not really been consistent in coming around to evacuate most of the deaths, because back here, I noticed, I came here about 2 weeks and I realized the way the death was, the refuse was in the middle of the road. It was still there for almost 2 weeks.
Like in this Gariki here, you see waste every day. So at least within 2 days, the government should be coming around to pack all those waste to make the place healthy. because if they are not here within 2 or 3 days, you see more waste on the streets.
The system operates that people are allocated different areas and you pay and they collect your waste. There has to be more frequency. They have to collect the waste on time. This one that sometimes 4 weeks, 6 weeks, they will not collect waste is wrong. And the government needs to sanction people when they fail to collect the waste on time, because it's a service. People are paying for their waste, or if government is contracting people to collect waste, you have to deliver.
Responsibility begins at home. Nigerians must cultivate the habit of proper waste disposal, separation at source, and recycling. Without this, no government effort can succeed.
For government now, they need to actually put a lot of funding into waste management, because waste management is a lot, it's capital intensive from my own experience. Now for us, we know that getting two bin system might be a bit of challenge to some in terms of financial. So we've designed another waste bin that has like a 240 liters bin that's got 2 compartments. One compartment for organic waste and another compartment for recyclables. So all in one bin, but they have to be bagged and put in a separate compartment.
We find that people are very careless about how they contain the waste. The prescribed container is the proper dustbin with cloth, with covers and all, so that it doesn't become a nuisance. So containerization is also important. Now, collection. Because if you contain waste, you have to collect it. There has to be a process of frequent, regular, consistent collection. That has to happen. Then when the waste is collected, what happens to it? Probably the collection agencies have a dump site where they go and dump it. And many times we find that in our societies or in our cities, once it's at the dump site, that's it. But waste management does not end there.
The other thing that I would love for government to sort of intervene in making sure that it's part of our curriculum in our schools, because I think it's very critical, especially for our children as they're coming up, but also for hotels, for eateries, for hospitals. Everybody should start segregating their waste, and they should then be linked up with recyclers that can collect those waste and put it through the right channel. I think without the government intervention, I think people will just continue to do whatever they want to do, which is not the right thing.
A lot of companies, banks, private companies, corporations are being very irresponsible. In other climes, they will not do what they are doing in Nigeria. You cannot have a company, have a building, and you are not managing your waste properly. You try to enter a bank, there is a whole pile, literally a refuse dump site, or sometimes even fast food places. How can you be selling food and you have a whole dump site right in front of where you are selling food? In many places, health officials will go and shut you down.
Nigeria's waste management is governed by a multi-layered framework of constitutional provisions, national acts, and sector-specific regulations, which are enforced by federal and state agencies. But impact is yet to be visible. Because why? Enforcement is weak, penalties are insufficient, and collection and recycling systems remain underfunded.
Let's assume the waste here now. There are laws and rules that if you dispose your waste anyhow, there will be fine for the occupant of the building, you understand? So the owner of this building will try as much as possible to, sanction whoever is going to dump waste in front of the building.
As we do the sensitization and advocacy, I have to say this: enforcement is key. Because if there are no consequences, people would do bad behavior would be the norm. So you were talking about the war against indiscipline. People conformed. Once people can identify that there are consequences for bad behavior, they would align.
The Lagos Waste Management Authority, they're actually doing their best to contain all this, just by introducing a lot of waste policing, and they're getting to prosecute them. So in Abuja too, we actually advised them. We spoke about it, and we have a group chat and said, look, introduce waste policing, because no matter what, people come in outside the city as well. They bring their waste and dump in a particular place. That's what they do.
In January 2024, the federal government announced plans to establish at least one plastic recycling plant in each of the country's 774 local government areas. This initiative is part of a broader transition to a circular economy aimed at converting waste into economic assets.
We believe they have to invest further stage of where we actually take the waste to. If that is not, if we don't have the appropriate place, or that there's no investment in that area, we're going to keep having the same problem. No matter how the collection you do, you don't have a good dump site or a primary material recovery area that they take the waste to, they can recover the good materials out of it, or incinerator where they can burn the waste and make waste to energy from it. We need to actually invest in those areas.
The entire cycle of waste management begins with one concept. It's called consciousness. You have to be conscious. You have to be aware. You have to know that you are a part of that process. We all have to be conscious, from individuals to communities to families to government to the agencies responsible, to the regulators, to the private sector operatives who collect and move the waste. We are all stakeholders in this. So that collective consciousness.
They use waste, to create employment for people.
There's so many things that can be recycled. You can recycle textile. You can recycle batteries. You can recycle plastics. Everything to do with in the food and beverage space. E-waste is a big one as well. And these are, again, in their own rights, all multi-million-dollar sectors that, if it's done well and is harnessed correctly, is a game changer for the fact that we talk about no jobs, the fact that our environment is dirty, the fact that we've signed the climate agreement and all that. This sort of solves all that without too much of, these are low-hanging fruits, honestly, but we just need to make sure that some of the infrastructure is put in place, the collection infrastructure, the sensitization and awareness and training and education infrastructure.
Innovation is changing the narrative. Across Nigeria, startups and entrepreneurs are reimagining waste. Wastepreneurs and tech-driven startups are transforming Nigeria's waste landscape from an environmental burden into a high-value digital economy.
So this, yes, became this. Yes. So we don't have the mold. We don't have the money yet to buy the mold. But once we do it, we won't need to sell this to anybody. We can do it ourselves. So these are just examples that we can sell this in the market. Why not? Yeah. These are not imported. These are made in Nigeria.
Made in Nigeria, yeah.
Made in Nigeria. So
okay, this one is for this.
Yes. So we need to be able to find an easy way to sort of compress them and send them. Yes, and the ultimate outcome of this is that they're going to be turned into fiber. Okay. Fiber. So that's what.
Also, we're introducing a lot of technology into waste management. Particularly in my company, we are very hot on technology and data. We ensure that even at the waste containerization point, we have what we call smart waste bins, in which we have smart microchips in the bins, which enable us know when the tenements are being serviced. It's a very critical tool that allows us to verify that the service has been done to each of our tenements. So because the waste collector truck has a RFID reader, and it reads once the bin is being collected or being disposed of, it reads it at that point in time. So that for us, we're able to monitor the performance of the waste collectors and verify service for our customers.
Traditionally, waste management investment has focused on profit margins, like collection fees, recycling sales, and energy generation. But Nigeria's challenge demands more. Investors must see waste as social infrastructure, not just a commodity for profit.
Now for us, we're doing waste collection, but we've told ourselves, and we're in talk with Abuja Environmental Protection Agency as well, that within our lots, within our area of operations, we're going to reduce bins. So there's no way you can do proper work without having the appropriate bins. We give the tenement their waste bins. We allow them, we're going to invest in this. We allow them to make payments over time, probably 3 months to 6 months. So every time, any area we go to, they should know that if you are bringing the bins, the days we're going to do collection, that's when they bring the bins out to the road. For now, what they do is that they just pack the bin, put it there on the road. It's not acceptable. So if you go in there in the morning and to pick up your waste, by the time you go afternoon, the bags are there. It's as if you're not working. So that's not tenable. It's not going to happen. So for us, within our own area of operation, we ensure that every household have the appropriate bin.
The world is big on recycling right now, and that's something we are trying to propagate, that we should separate waste at the point of generation, at source. That in itself reduces the amount of waste that goes to landfill sites, and waste is no longer waste as we used to call it. It's now what we call a resource, and we are all tending towards what we call a circular economy, where what you consider waste now is a resource and input into another product. So it's evolving. We're not there yet, but it's evolving.
The composition of Nigeria's waste reflects significant opportunity for the growing waste-to-wealth sector, with organic and plastic materials dominating the waste stream. If harnessed, this could fuel industries, create jobs, and reduce imports. There is no doubt that the circular economy is Nigeria's pathway to sustainable industrial revolution. Nigerians must therefore change their attitude towards waste disposal. Waste can generate wealth.